All right. So, I've once again done a very silly thing. Got a pack of Yugioh cards here. So, against my better judgment and the advice of my peers, I'm more interested in those loose assorted packs that you can get at the Dollar Tree for like $2. I was advised to get these because I might actually hold something relevant to them, but I went ahead and did it anyway. These are Dimension Force this time. We're not doing Battles of Chaos. And hopefully we can actually get something decent. So we're gonna open these and talk about those, and then possibly get a deck finally put together based on the cards that I have. So I think these were, I think these were the guys I'm not really gonna use all that much of yet. And then I think these were the new ones. Yeah, Despian Tragedy. I think that's a pretty good card. Okay. So these are gonna skip to the side here. So we've got about 80 cards here now. Theoretically, we could make 2 decks of 40, or realistically, we're probably gonna have 1 deck with a extra deck of whatever we happen to have available on the side. Now, one big important thing between the last video I made and this one is the fact that I've been playing Master Duel on my phone a ton. I've been really enjoying it. And it's pretty much everything I've been looking for in a just a Yu-Gi-Oh game. I can play it during downtime while I'm watching my son. I can make quick little videos, 5-minute bits, and maybe bring a little more traction, something different to the channel. Now that being said, those videos, for whatever reason, the screen capture I have, the program I have on my phone, is recording at 480p and 60 frames per second. And then that video gets compressed onto YouTube when it gets uploaded to 360 and 30 frames per second, which is super frustrating. Those videos are already pretty hard to see. I'm not entirely sure why that's happening. So I'm probably gonna lean off those a little bit until I can get that figured out, but just take that with a grain of salt. I also tried doing commentary. Commentary did not work. There is no audio adjustments in that program, which meant my voice was very soft while the game's music was blasting, and just kind of made it seem incredibly stupid. So anyway, enough about that. Let's open up these guys here. Okay. Now, I don't remember what's in Dimension Force. So I would consider myself, when I first started buying all these packs of cards, I was pretty much uneducated on modern Yu-Gi-Oh! I just played the stuff from 20 years ago and then didn't really pay too much attention to it. And I very much was lost in the sauce. I had no idea what a pendulum or an XYZ or a link card was. Master Duel's been doing a really good job of teaching me how the game works today, how important special summons are, more importantly, just what can happen if you have a deck properly set up with these cards that are meant to work with each other, like Ace Jade, Dolls, Dogmatica, DDD, Vampires, like all of these archetypes, how they synergize together well, and how much of a disadvantage a non-meta deck is really at. Now, that being said, I've found some very interesting things that you don't really have to run meta, and I'm not even saying like just have fun, do whatever you want. Who cares about winning? I've been winning pretty, I wouldn't say words are hard today. I'm only on 3 hours of sleep right now. I've not been winning consistently, but I've been getting a pretty good record with just like a bunch of normal monsters that are like between 1400 and 1800, and just some disruption spells like Ring of Destruction, Bottomless Pit. What's that one? The one where you pay your life and you get to just nullify an effect. Solemn Judgment, I think that's what it is. Just really when you hit some of these meta decks in a key point when they're trying to do something, you can make them fall all apart. And once that disruption happens, they really have a hard time coming back from that, which is when then you can just hit them with normal monsters, you know? So I've been able to play in an old-fashioned way with some old-fashioned cards that make me kind of hopeful, you know? I'm not really expecting to get like a fucking 2003 Pale Beast or something out of this, but, you know, there's hope for not having to run meta or run an archetype. Anyway, enough's enough of that. Let's get to it. Get the ASMR in there. Okay, so another Ice Jade card. While an Ice Jade monster, Ice Jade, Sinnoh, Enion, Cradle are on the field, your opponent cannot activate the effect of monsters that were summoned that turn. When a monster is destroyed in battle or by battle involving an Ice Jade monster, you can target one of those destroyed monsters, inflict damage to your opponents equal to the monster's original attack. You can only use this once per turn. So that's a pretty good one. That's a continuous spell. And it sounds like this is almost akin to a Ring of Fire, but a lot safer one. You know, like say your opponent throws out a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can kill it and then inflict 3,000 damage or points of damage to their attack. Now I have an Ice Jade card. We just went by it. Let me see if it's Ice Jade Erosion. That's what it was. Okay, so we've got a couple Ice Jades now. Still no Ice Jade monsters yet, so can't really use those. All right. Ooh, Predator Plants. I love Predator Plants. I'm trying to make a Predator Plant plan on Master Duel as well. Okay, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Predator Plant monster from your deck to your hand, except this one. If a monster with a Predator Plant counter or Predator counter is on the field, you can special summon this card from a graveyard, banish it when it leaves the field, only use effects. Okay, so this is a nice tribute or even fusion. Oh, maybe, I don't know. It seems like Predator Plants are built for fusion. There's a few of them I've seen that have some fusion effects. But this is just a kind of general special summon. It needs a little bit of setup, though. And I think the Predator Plants are a little bit of a disadvantage because a lot of them have to do with taking cards from your deck to your hand, which isn't as fast as special summoning. This can special summon, but it's got to be in the graveyard first. So it would probably work well with the discard deck or something. Okay, backup team. Draw cards equal... I don't think my shadow's affecting that. Draw cards equal to the number of cards your opponent controls, then place cards from your hand on the bottom of the deck in any order equal to the number of cards you drew. During the end phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do while this card's in your graveyard, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use one backup team effect per turn, only once that turn. So this gives you the opportunity to draw, and that is a really powerful thing. Especially, this is not only a something that allows you to draw, but it also allows you to cycle your deck, and it allows you to kind of get a foot back up if your opponent's at an advantage to you. So I like that. That's kind of a nice card. Now, a lot of people give these put something at the bottom of your deck grief, but you know, a lot of people only run a 40 card deck, and like 40 cards does not go that long. So sometimes it's good to have something to put it back. Hey, another Predator Plant. Awesome. All right, a Pendulum one. So Pendulum and Fusion, that seems what Predator Plants really like to do. Okay, while this card is in your Pendulum zone, if you fusion summon a Dark Fusion monster, you can use cards in your Pendulum zone as monsters on the field as material. Okay, so if I have another Predator Plant and I've used these as Pendulum spells, this basically means I can use these cards to fusion a dark monster, which is good. That would actually work well in Cyber Dragons, thinking about it. Okay, so if this card sent to the graveyard or added to your extra deck face up because it was used as fusion material, you can choose monsters on the field up to the number of monsters you control. Place one predator counter on each one. If you do, any one of those monsters that are level 2 or higher become level 1. So this, these counter things are kind of weird. It reminds me of the aliens, but they always have something to do with the levels. So I think these are really trying to hit X, Y, and Synchron monsters the most, since those are the ones that really need levels. I think Link might need a couple too. I don't think any fusion. But it's really kind of just it's a good disruption to your opponent, especially if you know they're trying to run Synchron or they're trying to run XYZs, which a lot of people do because they're very easy to get out. Okay, so here's our Holo Foil. Very shiny. The weather forecast. I feel like I know what this is, what archetype this is. It's the weather, guys. Okay, yeah. Okay, when this card is activated, you can place one weather spell trap card from your deck face up on your field and trap zone. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If you link summon a weather link monster, you can also use face up weather cards in your spell and trap zone as the weather monsters for its link summon. Huh, okay. During your main phase, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, normal summon one weather monster from your hand. You can only activate this once per turn. Okay, so this is kind of a weird one. It says that you can use weather, face-up weather cards in your spell and trap zones as monsters. So I'm assuming that the weather links are not going to be requiring levels, just weather monsters, yeah? I don't know, I'm gonna have to look into that later, but this also lets you just go ahead and summon a weather monster normally, so that's handy. Look at this, it's a very short trap card. Okay, Omega Judgment. Target one face-up monster in your spell and trap zone, and 2 cards your opponent controls, destroy them. Okay, nice little trade-off, very nice. Another Predator Plant. Oh, I think we're onto something here. Okay. During your monster phase or your main phase, you can fusion summon one dark monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion monsters. So this one really synergizes well with this guy. And that's really allowing, basically you can use anything to fusion summon, which is pretty cool. Fusions really need that extra oomph. Now, okay, so this is saying you can fusion summon. Is that one other one saying fusion summon or just saying use materials to fusion? If you fusion summon. Okay, so you still need the spell for fusion. This one is the spell for fusion. That's an interesting distinction. Where was I? You can only use effects per planet. Okay. All right, so it's just a fusion spell. That's cool, though. I like that. And this is a 0, so this actually works. These two work even better since you can pendulum summon with them. Okay, if this card is sent to the graveyard or added to the extra deck face up because it was used as a fusion material, you can add one face up dark pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, except Predator Plant, blah, 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 blah. Buffalucula, I don't know. So yeah, these two would make a really excellent combo if I'm lucky enough to find a dark fusion type. So this guy can get this guy back from the deck if he's used as a fusion material, which this one can do paired together. That's interesting. Might have to test that in Master Duel. All right, surprise chain. Okay, lots of little words here. Activate only in the chain link 2 or higher. Apply the following effects depending on the chain link number of the cards in sequence. Skip over any that do not apply. You cannot activate this card or if multiple cards with the same name are in that chain. That's a weird one. Okay, so 2 plus chains. Excavate the top cards of your deck equal to the chain link number of this card. So if this would be chain link 3, So I'm assuming they mean... See, the verbiage here is kind of weird. Do they mean link monsters or chaining spells together? I think they mean chaining spells together. Okay, so if this is the third in a row, you're going to send... oh, you're just reordering them. That's all. Okay. Okay, 3 are up. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. 4, draw a card. Okay. Weird little quick spell. I think this is more just confusing than anything, so we could call that a mental attack rather than being actually useful. Okay, a Kernel on C string. I think this is one of those music ones. He looks like a One Piece character. Okay, when this card is normal summon, you can special summon 2 level 4 or lower monsters, warrior monsters with different names. Ooh, I like him. I like him. I have a warrior deck. Warriors are actually my main way of special summoning in Master Duel, so if I really need some extra help getting an archetype out, I'll throw in the warriors as well, and he fits in that perfectly. I like him. All right, second pack. Here we go. Show the cards, I think. Okay, reverse jar. I don't know why they keep making these. These fucking jars are game breaking. Okay. Flip. Change as many other monsters on the field as possible, face down defense positions, then return as many face up target trap spells as possible from the field to the hand. Then each player can set spells, traps from the hand up to the number of returned to their own hand by this effect. You can only use it once per turn. That is really gross. That's one of those cards I have a feeling could probably mess things up if you don't really know what the rules are. So this would affect monsters who need to be face up. It affects your flip monsters, giving them a second round if necessary. But the return spells and traps to the field to the hand, and then they get to set them from their hand. That's pretty gross. That's pretty gross. I could also see this being a good delay tactic. So, like, if you know your opponent's trying to get a ritual out or something stupid like a special summon, you can just throw it back. Though, that said, I don't know if this is an interrupt. I'd have to probably look at the rules on this one. If it's not an interrupt, most of those effects will still go through, and you've basically given them an extra shot to use it again. So, yeah. Okay, Scareclaw alternative. I don't know what's going on in this picture here. Just some dude. Okay. Tribute 3 Scareclaw monsters. For the rest of this turn, your opponent can only special summon monsters in defense position. During your turn, banish this card from your graveyard. Inflict 100 points of damage to your opponent for each defensive monster on the field. Okay. I've played Scareclaws before. I think I've played Scareclaws. They do a lot of the flipping defense position stuff. Devouring Sarcophagus. That's a spooky looking card. Ooh. Okay. When this card is destroyed by battle with an opponent monster, you can take control of that monster, and if you do, it becomes a zombie monster. Its attack and defense becomes 0. When your zombie monster is destroyed by battle with an opponent's monster, while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card. Take control of that opponent's monster. If you do, it becomes a zombie monster. Its attack and defense also becomes 0. Huh. Interesting. I guess a good way of removing threats. This would probably work, maybe. No. You know, I was thinking this would work on Destiny Hero Phoenix. That's been such a pain in my ass lately. Everyone seems to have one now. But it would probably just kill itself to destroy this card before that could happen. Yeah, I don't know, man. Fun card, I'm sure, if it would work. Okay, Crow Tengu. All right, this is kind of an issue I've been having with these cards lately. This is a zombie. Does that look like a zombie? No, that looks like just a dude. Make him a bird or a warrior, beast warrior, whatever. Okay, if this card is in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, or if this card is special summoned from the graveyard, you can target one attack position monster your opponent controls. Destroy it. Okay, so it's a card, it's a kill spell, but it needs to die first, or you need to special summon it from the graveyard first. So, bit tricky on the timing. Okay, and here we have our rare for this pack. Pasticil Coverture, and I think this is a Ritual Pendulum. Oh, it's a fusion. Oh no, we got our wish. The Monkey Claw curls because it's a fucking Dragon Maid, I think. Okay, if you have no cards, no card in a pendulum in words. Okay, if you have no card in your other pendulum zone, you can place one face-up pendulum monster from your extra deck in your pendulum zone. You can only use effects once per turn. You need to fuse two pendulum monsters. If this card in the pendulum zone is destroyed, you can place this card. Holy shit. Okay, if this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. Okay. Well, we have our combo. As much as I didn't want it, I was really hoping to be some Predator Plants, but I think that's a combo. We'll take a closer look at those three here shortly. The Scareclaw. You can special summon this card from your hand to your main monster zone adjacent to a Scareclaw monster you control or in its column. You can only special summon Scareclaw Astral once per turn this way. I think I have this one. Your Scareclaw monsters in the extra monster zone can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the number of defense positions. Okay. More of that defense position nonsense. Surprise Chain. Al Ghul Mazera. More zombies. Okay. If a zombie monster you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your hand or graveyard. Instead, if this card is banished from your hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card in defense position, then reduce its level by 1. You can only use each of these effects once per turn. Okay, so if a zombie gets destroyed in battle, you can banish this card from your hand or graveyard. If this card is banished from the hand, you can special summon this card in defense position. So he works well with that Tengu. And here's a Dogmatica Urgi. Ritual summon one Dogmatica ritual monster from your hand or deck by attributing Dogmatica monsters and or ritual fusion or synchro monsters from the field whose levels exactly equal the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card. Select 2 target Dogmatica monsters with different levels in your graveyard, add one of them to your hand, and place the other on the bottom of your deck. Okay, we don't have any Dogmaticas, so that one's out. Okay, where would that? Here is Tengu. So he needs to die. To destroy. When he dies, get these up and just hold side by side. So when he dies, you can banish him to not die, would be destroyed, and sent to your grave. Okay, I think that's why that was there. I was kind of wondering about that, and sent to the graveyard. These might actually not synergize. This may actually stop him from activating his effect. These are another pair that I'm going to have to mess with in Master Duel, see if that actually works properly. And I know I keep referring back to Master Duel. I'm aware the rules aren't quite proper in the the ban lists aren't the same as actual real life, so no, I get it. Okay, so let's look at our three main here. 2 Predaplants and a Pachysel. Assuming that's how I say it. Okay, so all of these, this is the fusion. And this guy should be in the pendulum zone. Okay, so I see how this works. Okay, so let's say we start with Predaplant Trantis. We're going to put him in the pendulum zone. Because he's on the field, when we fusion a dark fusion monster, you can use cards in your pendulum zone as monsters on the field as material. Okay. And then, oh, but it's gonna be an extra deck. Shit, that might be different. Because she's gonna start in the main deck. Okay. You can fusion summon 1 dark fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. See, this is weird. I'm assuming we have to play this as a pendulum monster in order for it to, the spell to kick in. It sounds like this can be played from the hand, though. So hypothetically, if we can get her in the extra deck, he can summon her using his abilities to take pendulum monsters. And then once she's on the field, you can then put him back in the pendulum, because no, both of them. You might be able to do both. I don't know. And then when she dies, she goes back in the pendulum zone too. Now, the other problem is this guy is the highest attack, so why don't I, what, okay. I think the goal would be to get him out. But the problem is it's designed to get her out. So, I don't know. I'm going to tinker with it a little bit more. I might be onto something there, though. Let's set those guys up there. Okay. So, let's go ahead and go back through, because I got a few cards. Like, these surprise chains, they're weird, but I can actually use them. So, let's make a new stack of cards that I could probably use. Like this guy, he's weird, but I could probably use him. We're going to keep that aside. That only works if I have Scare Claws. He's also weird, but I can use him. He might work if I have Warriors, which I think I do, because they're pretty common. Oh wait, no, I do have a Scare Claw. Okay, so we'll put the Scare Claw over here, but I only have 1. Omega Judgment, that's useful. Let me back the camera up here a little bit. Weather forecast, can't use that. It's going to go over here with Dogmatica, since I don't have any weather monsters. Backup team, that's a good one. I like that one. Predaplants, we'll put with the Predapile. Ice Jade Curse, I think, is going over here because we still don't have any Ice Jades. Okay, so now let's go back through our stack of things I can't use. This is a fusion, but it's not a dark fusion, so I still can't use her. Fiend, 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner, Fiend monster. I'm going to set him aside. He is 8. He'll go over here with the extra deck pile, I guess. He's a maybe. I may have a Fiend. I'm not sure if I have a Fiend or a tuner. Any of these guys? No, none of these are tuners. Are you guys tuners? Something said tuner here, I thought. thought it was one of these predator plants said it could be counted as a tuner until the end of the turn. No. No, I'm not seeing it. This guy's up there. And then, no, these aren't either, so. I really don't have a lot of space, like, shit. Okay. Dark Dimension Soldier, one tuner, one non-tuner again, same kind of issue. This is a warrior, though. Okay, we need tuners. I'm not sure if we have tuners. Ghost Trick, I don't have a non-Ghost Trick, non-link Ghost Trick monster, so he's out. Ice Jade, one face-up monster you can your opponent controls. Destroy one Ice Jade monster you control. If you do, negate it. This would be really nice if I had a fucking Ice Jade, son of a bitch, because it negates, and you want negates. Ghost Trick or Treat. If you control a Ghost Trick monster, we do not. Out it goes. Ugdek. Send one monster from your hand. Field graveyard. Then target one reptile monster in your graveyard with a different attribute. Special summon it. During your main phase, a monster sent to your graveyard or an opponent's graveyard, you can send one reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. Okay. He's a maybe too, because I don't know if I have a reptile. Dull Happiness. I don't have any of the cards listed in here still. Erratic Radiation. Don't have any Ursas. Dictator of Dick. I don't have a Blue Eyes for him. Unfortunately, I think he's my most expensive card right now. A whole $1.40 or something. Ritual Summon. Okay, again, no Dogmatics. No DDs. Well, maybe DDs. I thought I had a DD. Vampires. No vampires. Branded Disciple. When a monster is activated, opponent solves. Level 8 or higher. Fiend Fusion. Yeah. That's one specific card it's looking for. And I don't have the ritual. I have no way of summoning rituals. Yeah. No Libromancers. Shame. Okay. So this clump right here, this is the maybe pile, the maybe babies. If I don't have any more Scare Claws, that trap's leaving because I can't use it. Okay. 2 XYZ monsters with the same rank, except number monster. Extra. I think I only have one more XYZ. If I do, he's not going anywhere. Okay, no amazement. Let me just pop this up. There we go. That's a little bit better to see. Okay, I have nothing amazement to use here. No Stardust Dragons or Synchro Monsters. Yeah. Nothing used in there. Carponica. If this card sent from your hand or graveyard, target 2 beasts, beast warriors, or winged beasts, plants, or insects with different types in your graveyard. Shuffle them into your deck. If you do, special summon this card. Okay, yeah, I think he might work. Chronomaly. If a Chronomaly monster you control be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effect. Don't have any Chronomalies, so I think he's going out. He's decent. No, he's level 5. I don't want a tribute for that. Alright, Magic Key unlocking. Do not control Magic Key. Have nothing there. Okay, Despian. Add 1 Despian monster to your deck, except Despian Treasure. I don't think I have a Despian. Here's another Pendulum. Fiend. Pendulum. Target 1 card near the Pendulum zones. This card's Pendulum scale becomes the level of that Pendulum monster until the end of turn. That's weird. Why would you want to switch, like, so I have 1 and 8. Why don't I switch it to 8 and 8? Doesn't make a lot of sense. I might be missing something there, but throw them in the pendulum pile. Over there. Glacier Aqua Madur. If your normal monster battles an opponent monster, yeah. This one, I don't have any normal monsters still, so can't use him. Reveal one normal monster from your deck and one effect monster from your deck with the same type. Don't have a normal monster. Alright, here's my big guy. This one I was kind of excited about. 2 monsters with the same type. Special summon 1 level 4 of the same type monster from your hand. The zone. Okay, so this is really handy for like if you have all warriors, he might work well. So I'll put him over there. And then Ani Bamaru. This is the only XYZ card I can actually use, and I think I have maybe a couple level 2s somewhere. Okay. So that means numbers going in the pile, since I only have one. Alright, and then we have our main deck. So we've got a lot of Dinomorphs, Tribe Drive, Darton. Okay, the rest of these I think I could probably handle. I might take the Dinomorphs off. I don't need them anymore. Do I have a reptile? That's what we're looking for. Alright, so Dinomorph, Trap, Rock, Machine, Rock, Spellcaster, Fish, Psychic, Fiend, Dinomorph, Rock, Dragon, Beast, Trap, Dinosaur, Spellcaster, Cyberse, Winged Beast, Trap, Psychic. I might even take that one out. Dinosaur, Dinomorph, Rock. Okay, yeah. We have no reptiles, so Wooged is out. Okay. What was Gorza again? Let me check him one more time. So let's kind of start digging through and see just what all I can do here. Oh, almost at 40 minutes, no bitch. Okay, so this one tuner run. I don't think I have any tuners. That was the other thing I needed to look at. Okay, so none of these are tuners. None of these are tuners. He's out too. I don't think I even use Scareclaw, really. Special summon this card from hand. Yeah, I have no other Scareclaw, so he's out. Yeah, I'm not seeing any tuners. Son of a gun. No Synchrons then. So I've got an extra deck of 2. But this guy's a pretty good link card. And I think, let me just arrange shit here. So I've got a ton of effect monsters. That's what I'm seeing here. These guys go over there. So let's just kind of make a pile. So I've got a beast, zombie, warrior, rock, zombie. Put these in the frame, I guess. That would help. Then a ton of dinosaurs. Dinosaur, rock, dinosaur, psychic, dinosaur, spellcaster, Cyberse. I think we're gonna keep the Cyberse out. Winged beast. Do I have a winged beast? No. Winged beast up there. A rock. A dragon. That's a good dragon. I'm gonna keep that one. Beast. Rock. Machine. Rock. Why is he not a rock machine? Spellcaster. Fish. Psychic. And a fiend. Do I even have a fiend, pal? No, you're it, pal.